3434, check my latitude.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Good
How we
morning,
doing?
everybody. Good.
Yes.
I
Sometimes I do think no. Sometimes I think 9 a.m. is too early. But now you can go with your thought. I want to sleep in.
Yeah, but we're normally in the office at 9 a.m. for co-working.
I know, but just chatting and co-working is different than being live and thinking. And anyways, what were you gonna say?
I was up at 8:30, so I did sleep in as much as I could. In my defense, my insomnia is real lately, and I've been going to bed at like 3, 4.
Good Lord.
All right, so let's talk about it. We had a good topic today, and it is why businesses don't get snow days. And it was interesting because you were thinking about the online side of things, and I was thinking about the service industry, which is such an interesting way of people seeing things in multiple lights, right? And that's why we really tend to work together well, because we're always looking at the different facets from different angles. And I love that.
And yeah, so I have worked virtually or like hybrid for many, many years now, going on 20. And something happened this week with the snow days. So on Monday, an organization I work with, she had to shut down some of their programming, and they were like, well, if you work virtually, you work virtually, but if you don't normally work virtually, hey, you get the day off. And we're all like, wait, I don't get the day off. Right now, I never get the day off because I'm a consultant, right? If I'm scheduled to do something and I work remotely, I don't get like PTO or anything. But there is a level of it's unfair, and I'm being sarcastic. I sound like, I'm in 8th grade or something. It's not fair. But what we really got into talking about, and what I want to talk about, is your example of.
Oh, but wait. I don't want to overstep what you just said.
Oh,
because we're talking about potentially 2 different salaried employees. Right? So if you think about it and you're like, oh, well, you're a salaried employee that comes into the office, but we don't need you working today. And you're a salaried employee that works from home. Now those hours, right? That expectation is completely different. And I do feel like that 8th grader that got cut in line should have something to say about that. Because why are we not being, and
well,
I can only do half my job with half the office available, right?
Yes, but I want to clarify. So I don't want to like call out this organization like by name.
No, I get that.
Hear me out. They didn't do anything wrong per se, and I want to clarify how they did things. So I was maybe I didn't say this in the beginning, but some of the programming because of the weather had to be cut. And so if you normally have 50 people come to a day-to-day program and those 50 people aren't going to show up, I don't need that person to go through the snow and everything to get to the office just to run a program that nobody's going to be there for, right?
Yeah,
and so that person is the person that isn't working because they normally work in programmatic avenues, and the people that work from home, they support the programmatic efforts.
They're the office people.
But they're like the office people, right? And so, yeah, we still need an accountant to work. She works from home, but I don't need the program coordinator to be there because there's going to be no humans to coordinate.
All right, I'll take it. But I'm still, because I do know that there are people who have done that a lot, right? So I still want to stand
my
up to
example was
man.
Yeah. But no, I see that. I have been in scenarios where like, and again, I'm not going to call it organizations, but where like my team had to work because something was happening, but then like the development team and the accounting team got the days off because, oh, well, you can't come into the office. Okay, well, So the rest of us will brave the weather. You know what I mean? And so it is kind of weird. But I do want to get to your example, though, because that was in my opinion, the unfair, almost what happened during COVID with essential personnel problem, right? So go ahead. What were we talking about earlier?
Well, I'm not allowed to use my exact sentence, but
Right. Well, I told her she can't swear.
yeah.
Well, at least not on purpose. However, you can use the company because I could care less if they get called out.
So we were talking really about how, we're closing down banks, we're closing down, offices, law firms, like you're closing down everything, right? But then you're saying, "Oh, but the grocery stores are essential." Now, here's the problem with the grocery stores being essential. Everybody was told 5 days in advance that a storm is coming. Everybody was informed that there were storms coming and to hunker down, get what you need, grab your stuff, and go home. We don't want you on the roads. But then we play into it and we make people go and open grocery stores. We make people go and even here where I live, we had one major road had several hotspots of those stores that the electricity was down.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, they shouldn't have been asked to go to work in the first place because they shouldn't have been asked to go and leave for a $12 an hour to go and risk their car that probably isn't as great as people who are making $50 an hour. But let me go risk myself so that you can get something that you forgot. Um, and I think that that is a very difficult ask, especially when you look at where's their daycare? Where are these things? And I get it. Like, yeah, we have to have hospitals running. That is something that we can't shut that down. But when you have notice of a storm, there should be no reason why a store is open. There just shouldn't be a reason why those fast foods and stores are open.
I 100% agree. And $12 an hour is, I think we're referring to minimum wage, and that's actually different in a lot of states. And we have talked about the state that you are in. And again, I could care less if I call out states. So Louisiana, all right. $12 an hour for minimum wage in Louisiana is actually high. You guys are still at a $7.25 minimum wage. And so knowing that there are people out there in what's considered essential jobs that are making $7.25 an hour that have to then go into work. Now we really went through this in COVID. I get that we tried to shut things down for like a month or two, hoping that would help. And then, yeah, we did need essential workers, right? We needed stores to be open and we tried to work around that. But when it's 1, 2, 3 days for weather, is this really worth giving or getting people into unsafe situations on the roads? Okay.
Yep.
And I think it was like about a week or two ago, but in Michigan, on the Lake Michigan side, there was a huge accident, like 100-car pileup, simply because there were things not being shut down and the weather was bad. And that's unnecessary, right? Now, I do want to clarify, no one passed, only 2 people were injured. Everybody was going like 8 miles an hour. So it was fine, right? It was just a bunch of fender benders and nobody could move. But it still was not necessary. And in a state where the weather isn't icy like this on a regular basis, it also makes things even more dangerous.
And I think that's where people misunderstand things. I live in Louisiana and I saw a post about why we don't have snow plows. Do you know how expensive a snow plow is?
Super.
For 2 days a year?
Right. It's that. It might be 2 days every other year. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Exactly. But not even that, like no matter what, even if you bought a fleet of snow plows, you cannot go through every neighborhood.
Yep.
And you cannot, and Louisiana is very hilly. There's like it's hills, like everything's got a slope to it, right? You can't do that. So to get out of your home to a road that would have access to a snowplow, that's just like being a farmer in the middle of nowhere saying, I'm going to go to town. You're not going anywhere. And I watched, I have roommates right now, and on Sunday, my roommates decided that they needed to go to the store, and they had done their shopping prior, and there's tons of food in the house, and they're like, "Oh, no, we need things for dinner." And I was like, "There's food here." And they
There's
walked. They didn't drive. I will give them credit on they walked to the store. But because we feel the need to have instant something, right? Because we feel like we are, I don't know what the right word is, but because we feel like we need that instant gratification to just walk in anywhere and buy anything at any time, that's why those stores are open, because we play into that.
100%. And I'll give a quick example, and then don't let me forget to talk about snowplows. But that instant gratification happened over Christmas. So I was, well, technically over New Year's, I was in Rochester, Minnesota. And Rochester, Minnesota is where Mayo Clinic is. It's not like off the beaten path or like out in the middle of nowhere. It's a city, right? Like in a pretty major city with a pretty major hospital. And we're there, and I can't remember what we were talking about, but I'm like, oh, we can just order it. It'll get delivered tomorrow. And they're like, Sarah, we don't have overnight delivery in Rochester. It's usually 2 to 3 days. And I'm just sitting here like, I'm so spoiled where I live that I can sometimes get things same day. Does that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we've ordered like things same day delivery, and it's kind of amazing. And I think we are now living in a world that we can communicate instantaneously. We can buy things somewhat instantaneously. Even 2 to 3 days is better than it was 20, 30 years ago, right? All these things, that instant gratification, I think, and I'm going to make a bridge here, actually leads us into our businesses where we think we need to be successful on day one, that we're going to know all the answers on day one. We're going to become that entrepreneurial millionaire. So-and-so did it in 6 months. I can do it in 3, right? Like, I don't know. And I think it might skew our building of our businesses. Thoughts on that? Did I jump a...
No, I think that that's a really important thing to look at, right? Is one, when we're building our businesses, we think, and this is a conversation that I was having with somebody yesterday, you know, and I've been having this conversation. I've been in business for 3 years.
Sure.
And I've had steady clients, and I have a very well-built foundation thanks to you. Like, you've helped me really create a space where it's solid and it's foundational. And I knew, like, it's going to take time. And I had people around me who wanted instant, like, well, you have to have income now. You have to, your business isn't good if it's not making money right now. And I understood, like, I have to grow people, I have to grow clientele, I have to grow these things. And recently we've had the conversation of, okay, Brittany, you're at 3 years and you're not doing what's necessary, right? And the truth of the matter is I don't want to do what is quote unquote necessary. I feel like I'm not a salesperson. I feel like I'm not, and it's not necessarily even doing sales things. I just have recently come to the conclusion that I'm a very inbound person and not an outbound person. And that outbound just drives an anxiety that I'm not ready to face, I guess.
Okay.
But when you look at those things and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to start a business and it's just going to be perfect. It can't be. We have to overcome things. We have to do things different. And there's lots of snow days. I mean, my tibia took me out for what, 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
My tibia took me out for 2 months. And you don't get to say, well, for the gratification of the clients. No, like, I was drugged. I couldn't wake up while I was healing, right? My body was healing. It was forcing itself to sleep even when I was not taking any more pain meds. Um, but also when a snow day hits, go outside and play in the snow, right? Take time, breathe for yourself. But I think I agree with you a lot. People think that there's just going to be this gratification of owning a business, and it's a lot more than they go into.
So I 100% agree. So I need to look. Let me look on LinkedIn here. What date I actually claim I started my business. And you're like, what do you mean claim you started your business? The problem is that I've been doing a version of this for a hot minute. 13 years and 11 months. So in 2012, I started writing resumes for people. And it was great. Like people actually paid me to write their resume. This is way before ChatGPT, people. And so, well, actually, no, ChatGPT was probably an idea, just hadn't been formulated yet. But so I was writing resumes for people, and it grew from there. That was like my first foray into like consulting on an HR anything. You get my point. And I wouldn't even say resumes are really HR. It's more like pseudo HR because, I'm not helping people get a job or anything. But it was for 12 years, though. So 13 years, 13 years I've been building this. And I am still not solely a consultant as my primary income. Okay. Yeah. And the reason for that is because along the lines, I got my master's degree. I'm currently getting my doctorate. I've kind of wanted to build it slowly while I got the education for what I want to do. Like I have dreams and plans in my head. But everybody builds at a different level. And that's why I'm saying, or a different pace, I guess, not a different level. We all want to get to the same place, right? Make $1 million or more. But we all are at a different pace. And if we judge ourselves by somebody else's pace, it's that concept, right? If you judge a fish on how well it climbs a tree, it's always going to fail, right? And yeah, that's kind of my thought on that is just quit comparing yourself to other people. And whether it takes you 3 years or like me, 13 years to get to where you want to be, make a plan and just be Nike, do it.
Yeah, I love it. And I think that is, that's exactly what it is in business is you either align with certain things or you don't. And at different times in your life, when you're working on a doctorate or when you're just simply needing to breathe, right? Sometimes if you need to breathe, you have to step back from a business because a business is multiple hats. It's all consuming. You need to be able to manage, even if you don't wear the different hats, you have to manage the different hats. And so you need to be in a space where you can actually do that. And when you wake up and you're like, as much as I love what I do, this part is taking me out, you have to take those breathers. And it's okay. It's not a failure. I think a lot of people also think that if you put something on the back burner or you put something, aside or kind of start doing it differently, it becomes a failure, and it's not. Um,
Learning and growing and changing because of that is not a failure. If you've tried something and we'll use me as an example. I mean, how many years ago, 2 years ago or whatever, I tried blogging and I cried for a month as I wrote blogs, maybe even longer than that. And I decided this wasn't for me. And now I found the platform of Substack where I actually enjoy what I'm doing and it's fun and I don't feel like it's a chore, right? And that makes all the difference, right? If you're truly, and I know aligned is a buzzword at the time at this moment, but if you are aligned with what you're doing, it is no longer truly work. Now, do I have some things I hate that about business that I still have to do? Sure, taxes, whatever, right? But those are smaller amount when you are actually enjoying what you're doing.
yeah, exactly. And I think that along those lines of it's even people who are like, well, I know people who closed their business. They didn't fail. They chose and closed their business. It
Sure.
wasn't working. Whatever was happening wasn't working, and it's okay. Um, I think there's a lot inside of that. I think a lot of people make things very black and white.
But I also think we put connotation on words, and let me explain. So,
Mhm.
yeah, you closed your business. Yes, your business failed. Why is the word failed a bad thing? It isn't saying that you blew it up, that you embezzled all the money, that, right? Like, we're not like fail is not a bad word. It is just a word.
Yeah.
Yes, my business has changed a couple of times. I used to be called Tangible Targets when I was doing resumes. That was my brand, like that was my company name, Tangible Targets. And it like I just had to give it up. I'm like, look, this isn't working. I People were expecting these grandiose resumes for like $50 and I'm like, I just don't care anymore. Right? So tangible targets cease to exist. There is still an email address out there somewhere that I check about twice a year just in case. But yeah, it's not, I didn't fail. I just was like, this isn't worth it anymore. My time, my energy, my whatever. I wanted to be doing something different, bigger, better, stronger, whatever wording you want to use, but it was different. Did the company fail? Yes. Did it fail because I didn't want to do it? Sure. But it wasn't failure of my work or failure of my
Right.
character, or you get my point. Like, I don't look back at it. It's just like, yeah, it didn't work. It failed. Fail is not a bad word.
Love it. No, I think that's
I mean,
great.
unless you're in middle school or high school and you're failing a class. So if you're in middle school, high school watching this, get an A. Don't get a fail. Okay, go ahead. I don't want kids watching this. And Sarah said failure isn't a bad thing, Mom. I don't think kids are watching this, but if they ever did. Wait, I lost you. We can't hear you. We're changing headsets. Well, while she's doing that, I can't hear her, but I will now switch off to what I told her to remind me of, which was snowplows. Can you hear me?
My headset died.
Oh, there we go. All right. So do you want to go back to what I was talking about, or do you want to move on to snowplows?
Oh, no, one, look at us make a whole 22 minutes out of just closing off for snow. We knew we could do
Yeah.
it. But yeah, come back and let's talk about the pin for the snowplows, because we talk consistently about how business owner, like, watch our videos, guys. We support business owners in every level of where you're at. It's important. But yeah, let's go to that snowplow because I know that you have something interesting to say if you had me put a pin in it.
Well, I don't know if it was super interesting. I just feel like my hair, first of all, is like doing something today. And
It's very rogue. I like it.
yeah, it's something. So, anyways, when we first started talking about snowplows, I remembered something. And whenever Chicago, the city of Chicago, gets a new snowplow, they name it. Like they give it a fun name. And so this year they got a new snowplow, and everybody's heard of the Sears Tower in Chicago. It's the tallest building in Chicago. So they named it the Sears Plower. But anyways, you can go Google all the Chicago names for snowplows. They all, and then they write it on the side, right? Like, so each snowplow has its own little name. I don't know if other cities do this, but it's so funny. And you get to vote on it. So there's usually like 2 or 3 options or something, and then you can go vote on it. So
Now I just want to go to the website that has all the live feed from all the snowplows.
yeah, I'm sure there is one. Chicago plow.
Because look, snowplowing, and talk about an essential job that is scary, right?
Okay. So Bozo the Plown. Whoop. Oh, Scoop. There it is. Scoop. There it is. Why is that funny to me? Okay. So, anyways, you need to if you're watching this, go look them up. They're funnier.
Okay, so first of all, Scoop There It Is has got to be a plow from the 80s. So it's the oldest one in Chicago.
Possibly, I'm not sure. There's one that's Sleet Home Chicago, like Sweet Home Alabama, Sleet Home Chicago.
Oh, there you go. You've got your 60s baby. So
Like, they're just funny. So anyways, if you're watching this far into our video, go and Google Chicago plow names.
I love it. So the moral of the story is let people stay home
Yes.
when they need to, because we don't need people out on the roads. There's just no there's everybody was given enough time. Like if you didn't take we were given enough time. And shame on you for not giving your people a day before the storm so they could prepare, right? Like, shame on you. Like, let's be real. There is plenty of, hey guys, there's a storm coming. Why don't you go home? Why don't you figure out what you need? Why don't you bunker in? There's plenty of that to be around and available. So I do think that when we're wanting that instant gratification of you have to be open, I don't think that's very fair. Um, like Sarah said, it's just not, and it's not conducive. It's not conducive to safety. It's not conducive to how much people make, honestly.
No.
If you want fast food and it's a snowstorm, let's talk about that with your therapist.
And you can want it all you want.
Yeah.
But the fact that you think you deserve it and that somebody at McDonald's should be there to serve it for you, that is the ridiculous part. Like, I don't care. There's been times I've sat at home at 11 o'clock thinking, I want something, but I'm not getting out of my house to go get it because they're closed. I wouldn't expect them to be open.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
It's about not being maybe selfish. I don't know if that's the word, but thinking about others, have empathy for others.
Yeah, I am down for that. So this is the Keystone Network because we're going to be done on time or early. This is the Keystone Network. Sarah Davis and I are very excited to be able to showcase multiple business owners, but also conversations on business. So give us your ideas. We have a show that we have not unleashed yet. This is unleashed, but we have a show that is in the works that's in my brain. And so next month, hopefully, we'll be able to do one of those episodes. So keep watching us. We do highlight 3 business owners a month, as well as Sarah and I get to go unleashed and unhinged sometimes on people who make you go to work in the snow. But watch us, and if you're a business owner, connect with us because we would love to help highlight you, as well as we have a co-working space where everybody comes and really just gets to not be alone. Because if you are working on a snow day just to get caught up on things, sometimes it's nice to have some friends around.
Yes.
So that is the Keystone Network. And I am Brittany with BizStorming. I'm an accountability tech consultant, tech strategist. I started out of my realm. Look, guys, I am a strategist. I help you find where your business is going and where you're going. And then we build a way to get there with tech and delegation and really just strategy. So reach out to me and let's get you on the right path. And speaking of paths, Sarah.
So, hello, I am Sarah, and I'm with Off the Beaten Path Consulting. I help small and medium-sized companies with their leadership and business strategy. I build policies and procedures around those things. And if you are starting out and hiring your first person, you should contact me. And if you're a little bit larger and making some changes, you should also contact me. All of our information will be in the variety of places we are going live. So feel free to reach out to us on any one of these platforms or in any of the links that you see. But thank you for being here. And look at that, 29 minutes, 47 seconds.
She also has coloring books. Don't forget the coloring books.
Coloring books. Yes, definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. Have a great day, everybody.
One, two, 1, 2, need my attitude. 3, 4, 3, 4, check my latitude.
Ooh, I like that.